Hello, and welcome to today's session on building your own marketing and communications plan. This session was originally presented to AOK Networks during the February teleconference in February 2022. We hope that you will review this presentation to get a good sense of what to expect for fiscal 23 related to bringing marketing and communications into your work plans. The purpose of this session is to review what we've been working on for the last 18 months and help to make that learning more concrete. For someone who's watching this webinar at home, it's important for you to review the previous sessions related to integrated marketing and communications. If you're not able to do that, that's okay. We will do a little bit of a review here, but I really encourage you to go back to those other sessions to get a good foundation for what we're looking for as an AOK team related to marketing and communications. In fiscal 23, all AOK networks are going to be updating their web pages to add a story and to bring more information to the world about what is happening with their AOK networks. Overall, the goal is to set up each network for success, to bring messaging alignment and consistency along to the entire membership, to your entire network, and to get everyone speaking in one voice. Overall, we want to be able to amplify the message related to community systems development and let the world know the powerful impact you all have been having. One outcome of that is that you might be able to get more engagement and participation from new and current stakeholders as a result of this work. We really want to get the hard work out there, and updating a web page is one powerful way to get that done. So the purpose of today's webinar is to connect all of our AOK coordinators to a new requirement that launched in fiscal 23 around marketing and communications for the year's work plans. This requirement is that every network will complete an integrated marketing and communications plan using tools that have been provided over the last year, meaning fiscal 22. The second is that the networks will update one page on the state AOK Networks website. We want all AOKs to feel supported in completing this approach over the next year, meaning fiscal 23. As an agenda and timing, we will spend about 20 minutes talking through the presentation, learning about the new requirement that launched in fiscal 23, explore objective approaches and outputs for the work plan related to this requirement, review what we've learned, connect to ongoing learning. So how do we craft our own integrated marketing and communications plan? It's one thing to learn about it in theory, but we really want to make that work more concrete. So the purpose of this webinar is to connect our coordinators to this new requirement around a marketing and communications plan that is now in everybody's work plan. This work requirement is that each network has to complete an integrated marketing communications plan using tools provided in previous sessions. Again, the networks will update their one page on the state's AOK network website, and we really want everyone to be prepared and understand what's expected in their website. With coaching and other supports from the state team, all AOK networks are asked to create a communications plan using clear objectives. As a refresher, I want to bring up this slide from a previous presentation on integrated marketing and communications. We're going to take this from theory to concrete. So looking here at the circle, we have a person in the center, and that's the person who is the audience who receives messaging from the AOKs. In this case, it could be members of your AOK network, it could be members of the public. They may get messages from you through blogs, through websites, through social media, email marketing, direct mail, a website, videos, communications, conferences, family relations, field outreach, and so forth. Our focus today is on the area of the website, which you'll find down close to 4:30 if that were a clock. As a refresher, every communication effort that we try works well because of these 6 elements in an integrated marketing and communications plan. There's research that goes in for preparation. There's a clear objective laid out for the campaign. We understand and we identify our target audiences and take time to understand their unique needs. We think about what channels are best to reach those audiences, messages, visuals for those audiences, and then tracking the success of the campaign. So specifically, this is what it might look like in a work plan to add integrated marketing and communications plan into a work plan. So as we know, using logic, all activities will flow up logically to the state's vision, especially and specifically related to community systems development. So I'm going to give you an understanding here so that when you are working on your work plan, you are prepared to have this element of a marketing communications plan in your own plan. So if we look at the pink box, we can read that. The AOK network partners have an agreed upon shared agenda and network governance. Partners have the capacity through improved collaborative leadership and engagement to generate changes to improve early childhood systems. This is the impact statement for network capacity. The network partners understand the importance of collective learning and adapt well to changing conditions in the community. In blue, we have our objective, and this is just a sample that you might use. By June 2024, current and potential partners will increase engagement and participation in network initiatives by 10% over current participation as a result of implementing an integrated marketing and communications plan. So through our work, we would like to see our partners with increased engagement by 10%. And then how are we going to do that? So we're going to find that we're going to get that done through these different approaches. We have two samples right here in green. So by June 2024, the AOK network will complete an integrated marketing communications portfolio to improve practices by AOK members when disseminating clear and consistent messaging across multiple platforms to different audiences. So what does that mean? A communications portfolio would be a collection of words, phrases, paragraphs, talking points, so that the entire AOK network can see that same communications and use those same communications when they're talking about the work of the AOK network. This could look like a shared folder, an AOK box that all the AOK network members can access to help everybody be on the same page in their communications. It could be a place, a home, if you will, for photos of successes, photos of wins, short stories, quotes, testimonials for the AOKs to access. All right, the second approach. By June 2024, the AOK network will publish an updated webpage for the AOK state website. And this is to advance public knowledge of the AOK network's role in improving local community systems to advance the AOK network's public relations. So two approaches. So one is to create a portfolio, and the second is to update the content and photos and images on the AOK website and have that published by the end of the fiscal year. If we do these things, so if we have a portfolio and if we update the website, our objective, what we like to see, is that we would have 10% increase in participation as a result of this campaign, which will result in strengthening our network capacity. Okay, and I'll just put this up here to give you a chance to read it on your own. And here is our new approach related to a marketing communications plan. And then here's an example of some outputs one might put into their network capacity plan related to this new objective. So 4 meetings are held, 1 long, 1 short elevator pitch are created. There's 15 compelling images that are placed in a folder, 1 data table displaying key milestones, 5 testimonials, 1 500-word story, and 1 completed slide deck. So if we have a slide deck, if we have a 500-word story, if we have 5 testimonials, if we have 1 data table, if we have 15 images, and if we have 1 long and short elevator pitch and 4 meetings, then we can see more engagement. All right, here's the other approach on the web page update. And we're asking all of the AOKs to update just one page, not an entire website. And the goal is to do this every year rather than every 10 years. So we haven't had this as a requirement for our network capacity work plans. And now we wanted to make sure that we include it to encourage our AOKs to really stay on top of their storytelling to help promote and let people know what's going on. So it's a little bit of what they call a chicken and egg situation where we might say, well, people don't go to the website, so why would I update my web page? If I don't update the web page, then people won't go to the website. So our search engines are related to frequency of content being updated. So we really want to encourage more frequent updating of this AOK website, the state AOK website, to make sure that people, when they're searching AOKs, that it comes up front and center at the top of the search. So for some of our AOKs, the last time their section was updated may have been even 10 years ago. So the stories, the wins don't even reflect the most recent 5-year plan that's been going on. So the last time these were updated, many wrote a story about a recent network accomplishment. And this time we're going to provide a template to help provide structure for the content. So it could be a recent win, it could be how network capacity is working together with information and referrals to help move forward a child and family outcome impact. So here are some sample outputs that might come along with the web page update. So 2 one-on-one communications consultations, 1 approved 500-word draft of a story, 1 approved 500-word final, a data table, 2 visuals, 2 testimonial quotes, and a published website page. Now, what I want to point out is that this is not different from the other outputs that I showed you related to creating a portfolio. So these outputs are supporting building the other portfolio. So getting started with a web page and drafting a story, grabbing some data, getting 2 visuals and 2 testimonials are going to put you on the path towards having 5 testimonial quotes, for example, and the data table. So they're overlapping because they feed into each other. They both are supporting, these outputs are supporting the same objective. Okay, so there are tools and templates that are going to be shared on the AOK box that will help complete the story. And we will have another webinar to give more detail to walk you through the step-by-step to be able to write that story. So how do we craft our own integrated marketing and communications plan? Well, we'll use some tools, some templates, and some consulting time. So we want you to be able to create an integrated marketing communications plan with your AOK network members. We want you to use clear objectives, understand your audiences, and so forth. And you will receive a set of tools and templates that will guide this work. This will include a theme for the website content and an outline to help structure everything. The idea is that you would pop the content into this template so that you and the AOK network members have access to this messaging. So by completing the template, for example, you're on your way to having an integrated marketing communications portfolio at the ready and built for your community. We're also scheduling office hours for consultation so that the state team can help support you in implementing your webpage and writing that over the next year. So here's some ways that you can get that done. One is to collaborate on the objective. So don't do this alone. Leverage the teams for planning, content development, and content review. A shared project is motivating and refocuses your members to the mission and vision. Busy partners can help provide quick feedback. Working collaboratively helps to represent the voice of various stakeholders. And remember that small contributions over time will result in a marketing communications plan that is developed and used by all. So the more people that you have involved in creating it, the more people remember that it's there. You can use content for a presentation. So for example, we have a sequence, kind of an outline, that might be used for a written slide deck, or it could be used as a template for the story that could go on the web page. We don't want to take this sequence too literally when giving a presentation, but it's kind of a high-level overview of a way to tell a story. So the sequence of these slides would tell a story. So first we have a mission, and we have an AOK network that is taking us to that vision. We as a network have identified a large problem. We address it using a framework that has this powerful process. So that framework is using community systems development, systems building, and it's very powerful because we use information and referral, we use strong network building, and we work to powerfully impact our system to improve outcomes for children and families. 3, we are going to the community and we are implementing our response, our solution, in order to reach certain target populations. Our response has these advantages over the current system. So what that means is that we are making a difference, and we're different than the status quo. We're doing something different than the way it's always been done. And then we provide some examples of those successes that are measurable that show how we are making improvements to the system. Then we can share how we are working towards these milestones, specific milestones over the next quarter. And in conclusion, you want to wrap up your outline by saying, making kind of a call to action. So in this case, your investment of time, talent, or funds is a great opportunity. And we hope that we've demonstrated that to you. A third way that you can bring this together is using a slide deck. So a slide deck is a PowerPoint presentation that can provide more details about your AOK network. It includes sections such as a problem, a solution, an approach, engagement that aren't in an elevator pitch. So if you remember, an elevator pitch is what you might say in an elevator going up and down. So quick, tell me about your AOK. That's your elevator pitch. 1 sentence, maybe 2 sentences. A slide deck lets the public learn more about your work, and it demonstrates that you've thought about the AOK network in detail. It provides visuals, it provides data, it provides opportunity for communication, and you need to have a presentation anyway, and it's handy to copy and paste for your website. So what's really nice is that you have presentations available, and then you can prepare it and then use the language that you've prepared for other communications. So it helps you start to standardize your words and your messaging to your different audiences. So here's some tips for using the template, again, which you'll find on the AOK box, is you'll open it up, you save it as a new file. You can use Control and the letter M to add new slides. You enter your own AOK network information into each slide. Follow cues that are in the notes section, and then use a mock website as a guide. You can copy and paste content into your webpage, press releases, marketing materials, a website, social media, etc. And why would you do something like that? Because consistency is king. So using the same messaging in all of your communications, email communications, social media communications, presentations, it creates reliability and trust in your brand. So here's some more tips. You can create content. So again, complete sections using this as a template. Repurpose the content for future presentations that require a slide deck. Repurpose the content for email and other marketing materials. And repurpose the content when it's time to update your website. This is an example here of a data table. So data visualization is a way to tell your data story, the data numbers, with a picture. So this is a pretty generic example. So we have partnerships, referrals, the number of screened, and the number of people enrolled in programming on the left side. We have each month displayed here. A data visualization might show this as a bar chart or a line chart or a pie chart to help paint a picture for your viewer of what the data looks like. It's easier for them to digest and to process. So those are some quick ways that you can get started in building an integrated marketing and communications plan. These are some quick tips to help get you ready to update your webpage for the state website. So remember that all activities flow up logically to the state's vision. And in this case, this is our long-term outcome that we're looking for network capacity is what you find in the pink. The blue is a sample objective, and those 2 green boxes there are samples of approaches that we want the AOK networks to add to their plans for fiscal 23. And again, the idea here is to create a portfolio, and that will help improve practices and communications to disseminate clear and consistent messaging using different platforms for different audiences. And the second is to really update this website page for the state AOK website. So if you have any questions about this process, please reach out to Anna Maria. And in terms of next steps, what you're encouraged to do is to watch the next webinar that walks us through specifically how to update our web pages. And if you have not already watched the previous sessions on integrated marketing and communications, I encourage you to do that now. So thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it and hope to see you in person soon.